she's kind of a woman's artist, I think. She touches that thing in us that we've all experienced.
I want to meet Adele really bad.
I love Adele.
Okay.
Give us your life story.
I've always been singing. I've been singing since I was like 4 years old, like in the car or in the bath, at dinner, at school. I've never been a professional singer. I still don't think I am.
Never in my wildest dreams ever thought I'd get a record deal. Did you film that?
Good to catch and he could change the world with his hands behind his back.
Adele is the next new big thing that's going to come out of England and save the female music.
My songs are about heartbreak and love, because I don't like writing songs when I'm happy. I'd rather be out.
My main goal in life is to be loved and love, you know, and I always play it to my dad being like, you're the reason I haven't done that yet. Because he definitely was the reason. He was the reason I haven't fully accessed what it is to be like in a loving relationship with somebody.
Adele's life has always been a roller coaster experience. People point to her weight, her face, lip fillers and hairstyles. But the real change was always what's behind the mask. Adele Adkins grew up in a broken North London home. Alcohol ruled the house. She stayed quiet just to survive. She used singing to escape her trauma. That roar built a global empire. She sold 31 million albums while the music industry burned. Then her biological engine completely failed. A blood vessel popped deep inside her throat.
Since a throat operation in November, we're joined now from Los Angeles by Adele's throat surgeon, Dr. Stephen Zietels. Do surgeons get nervous, and were you nervous last night, Dr. Zietels?
I say a little bit, but it's more like...
The most profitable voice on earth went entirely dark. The more she sang for the world, the more she physically bled. Her body was breaking under extreme stress. She flew to Boston for emergency laser surgery. A doctor cut a bleeding polyp from her vocal cord. She was forced into a full month of absolute silence. She was reduced to a digital robot voice. A microscopic tear threatened her entire empire.
When did you first start to notice a problem with your voice?
A year ago, my voice went live on air at a radio show in Paris.
When you say it went, what do you mean?
It was literally like someone switched like a click off in my throat and it just turned off, or like someone pulled a curtain over my throat. But I sounded...
The trauma started in the cold rain of North London. Her father, Mark Evans, walked out the door. Adele was only 2 years old at the time. His exit tore a massive psychological hole in her life. She travelled to Wales at 12 years old. She wanted to surprise him for Father's Day. He never showed up. That brutal day cemented her worldview. She learnt to expect absolutely nothing from anyone. She started singing in her bedroom to survive the isolation. She studied old records by Etta James and Ella Fitzgerald. Then, for a school project, she recorded a 3-song demo. A friend thought it was cool, so posted the tracks on MySpace in 2006. This was back in the dark ages of social media. The early internet immediately reacted to her raw, booming tone. It all happened very suddenly. Executives from XL Recordings called her house. She thought the phone call was a total scam. Yet she signed her first record deal at 18 years old. By 19, she'd already dropped her debut album of the same name, 19. The music was personal, detailing the pain of her first heartbreak.
Just how you feel, I'm starting to find myself feeling.
It had soul, it had raw authenticity, and it hit #1 on the United Kingdom charts. Her manager saw $signs. They arranged a booking that would make the UK charts look small. She was to perform on Saturday Night Live in 2008. It just so happened that politician Sarah Palin was the guest star that night. The episode shattered television rating records. 17 million Americans tuned in to watch Sarah Palin. But when Adele took centre stage, that was the hottest moment of the night. woke up the next day a superstar. But there was a catch. She was a small-town 20-year-old who suffered from stage fright. No, seriously, she'd vomit before walking out to face large crowds. She smoked heavily to cope with crushing anxiety and drank to numb any disappointments. Her brain couldn't keep up with her fame, and her body was starting to snap under pressure. And who'd have thought it? The instrument that took the biggest toll was the one that secured her fame: her throat.
I'm not a soprano singer, but say if someone's singing in soprano and then you listen to a baritone sing, it sounded like that. My voice was so much deeper. It was.
And did you know something was happening? I mean, you
yeah, I know, and I could feel it. I felt like something popped.
So you had to have a surgery?
Yeah, I had laser surgery, yeah.
And what did they actually do?
I put a laser down your throat, cut off the polyp, and kind of laser your hemorrhage back together and fix it.
And during her breakout fame, Adele entered a deeply toxic romance. The relationship ended in a brutal breakup, but her rage and betrayal became another studio project. That project became the global phenomenon 21. It dropped and completely shattered the music industry. It spent 24 weeks, that's half the year, at #1 on Billboard.
I try not to moan about it, but I just wasn't really prepared for my success at all. I wasn't expecting it, so I just kind of went a bit doolally for a while. And I needed some time off, and I wasn't really getting it, so I just tried to kind of make up excuses to be given a break.
She could hardly keep up with the bookings, TV, radio, streaming, massive arena stages. But Adele's signature stamina was about to run out. She treated her voice like a high-pressure engine, forcing massive amounts of air past her vocal folds. In 2011, that human engine finally broke down completely. She was in the middle of a live radio set when she suddenly felt a terrifying pop in her throat.
Yeah, I know, and I could feel it. I felt like something popped in my throat.
A polyp, a swollen blood vessel, had ruptured deep inside her vocal cord. The hemorrhage forced a total cancellation of her American tour. In an instant, the most profitable voice in the world went silent. She flew to Boston for a massive medical intervention. She met Dr. Steven Zeitels at Massachusetts General Hospital. He proposed a high-risk laser microsurgery. One wrong cut meant she would never sing again. Thankfully, the surgery was a success, but the recovery, brutal. She faced a full month of absolute mandated silence. She used a digital robot voice when she needed to speak. Her multi-million-dollar business hung in the balance. An empire dependent on a tiny pinprick of tissue, healing perfectly. Then from silence, a roar. Her comeback performance was a trial by fire, singing her biggest hit of 21, Rolling in the Deep, at the 54th Grammy Awards in 2012. Her performance was received with a standing ovation. She had returned to the stage as a global conqueror.
Adele Adkins and Paul Epworth for Rolling in the Deep.
She swept the Grammy Awards and took 6 trophies. She tied Beyoncé's record for the most wins by a female artist.
Skyfall.
She followed that up with an Academy Award for her title song, Skyfall, for the James Bond movie of the same name. There wasn't a stage she wasn't dominating. But still, anxiety was still her daily companion.
Mate, believing in me all the time. And my man, I love you, baby. Paul Epworth.
Thanks very much.
She lived in terror of another hemorrhage ending her career once and for all. To stay relevant, most pop stars try to stay on camera every day. They flood the internet to stay in the public eye. But Adele decided her health was more than her wealth. After her victorious comeback, she vanished completely. She built a business strategy on total anti-exposure. By dropping out and focusing on her health and her craft, she engineered a massive vacuum that only her voice could fill. 4 long years since the release of 21, she'd recovered. She'd strategized. Adele was ready to release her new album, 25. It sold 3.3 million copies in America in a single week. No artist in human history had ever touched that number. In 2016, she signed a £90 million contract with Sony Columbia. It remains the largest deal ever handed to a British musician. But in the rush of success that followed, the old traumas were forgotten. The pace was relentless. In 2017, she was offered an irresistible contract for a brutal 123-show global tour. Ignoring the warning signs, she took the deal. By the midpoint, heavy steroid injections were getting her through the shows. By the end, she was totally burned out. Her tour concluded with 2 final shows at Wembley Stadium, London, back on home turf. 100,000 people waited to see her sing. And then, it happened. Her long-suffering vocal cords gave out again. Her last 2 shows of the worldwide phenomenon were cancelled.
I am going on a break, and I am just going to be mum for a bit, and I'm looking forward to that. But I will always write music, and I will always put it out, and I hope that you're always here. I might never see you again at a live show.
She was standing at the absolute top of the music industry, with more money than she'd ever dreamed. But she could not buy a throat that would stop bleeding. She needed to stop working for others and start working for herself. Enter Adele, a new woman.
It was about my anxiety mainly. I had the most terrifying anxiety attacks after I left my marriage. They'd paralysed me completely and made me so confused because I wouldn't be able to have any control over my body, but I knew that I was aware of it all happening. It was like I was still very much there while my whole body was just like on another planet, it felt like,
sharpened everything.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Like, it gave me real purpose. It's not my job to validate how people feel about their bodies.
The mission to take control of her life was long and grueling. It meant no longer being a spectator of her own success, but owning it. For a time, that meant stopping everything and focusing on her body. She had to start with her health. The reality was she was at war with her own biology. She had recurring throat issues. She was concerned about her weight, burnout, including her alcohol consumption. Years later, on her Las Vegas stage, she would admit the brutal truth. She called herself a borderline alcoholic.
But you've had a fascinating relationship with alcohol. I read where you said that alcohol really fascinated you.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, because it took my dad from me. Yeah.
And then you stopped?
Well, when I was going through everything a couple of years ago, when I was going through my divorce, yes.
So she retreated from the battlefield to rebuild her entire life. Between 2019 and 2021, Adele underwent a total transformation. It wasn't a linear journey, though. Still, she fought. The biggest outward shift was her divorce from husband Simon Konecki. But inside, the war was even more tumultuous. She recalls being crushed by daily anxiety attacks and days in an alcoholic fog. But slowly, total war on her demons paid off. She eventually put the bottle down for good. Her new escape was iron. She discovered heavy weightlifting and hitting the gym. It started as a last-ditch tool to survive the mental crash, but it became a passion. The intense exercise was a biological weapon against her own panic. It burned off the excess adrenaline that was poisoning her blood. The gym floor became a fortress where the anxiety could not follow. In the process, she shed 100 pounds of body weight, a physical manifestation of shedding the emotional baggage of the past. One thought, though, kept plaguing her mind. As she recovered and regained control, she felt an obligation to her son. He was only 8 when the divorce was finalised, and as for any child, his only question was, why? It was trying to answer this question that she wrote her comeback album, 30. But this time, it would be different. Her company, Melted Stone, owned the work and licensed it for global reach. To assert her newfound power, she ordered 500,000 vinyl records for release. The massive order blocked global vinyl factories for months on end. When the release finally came, it was huge. The album debuted at #1 on Billboard. It became the best-selling album in the US and was nominated for Album of the Year at the 2023 Grammys. It proved Adele could still command global audiences. Still, she made a final promise to herself to maintain her health. No world tours. Control and care defined 30, and they'd continue to define the next decade too. But that newfound stability was tested pretty quickly. In early 2021, she received news. Her estranged father, Mark Evans, was dying of bowel cancer. At first, she debated whether or not to get involved, but eventually, flushed with fear, she went to see the man who had broken her childhood. It was at this time she also found a new anchor. American sports agent Rich Poole became her new love. He was something quite different. He brought a stoic, firm equilibrium to both her boardroom and her bedroom. He was an equal, not a project. He supported her business totally and her commitment to her health. He helped her launch a custom residency in Las Vegas called Weekends with Adele. She controlled the environment. She controlled the schedule. She heavily protected her vocal cords. Still, in 2024, she took this concept to a monumental new scale. She built her own pop-up arena in Munich for a series of summer shows that she ultimately controlled. Her limited run injected over 540 million euros into the German economy. She had become a one-woman GDP boost. But then, to outsiders, the biggest shock of all. She announced an indefinite hiatus from the music industry. At the absolute peak of her power, she was walking away. Why? Because in 2026, she's announced the musical titan is trading her raw for the silver screen. Cry to Heaven is a Tom Ford film that will be her high-stakes acting debut. It's not likely to be an easy watch. The movie is set in 18th century Italy. It follows Guido Maffeo, a castrati. These were opera singers, castrated as children, to preserve their youthful voices. With a release slated for fall 2026, it could be a massive blockbuster release. Yet, what Adele does with this new direction remains to be seen. Her future is speculation. Still, Adele is intentional. Her music, her film career. She's learned these things can come and go. But her priority, she says, will always be her family and her health. Because Adele Adkins did not just survive the global music industry, she completely conquered it. She took the crushing silence of a broken childhood and she turned it into the loudest, most profitable roar on earth. But for a woman who knows how to roar, true power is knowing exactly when to go silent.